And we're in chapter 3 now, and we're going to see the first of the judges in this and why they are needed. And they're going to talk a little bit about the nations as well and their gods. Now these are the nations which the Lord left to prove Israel by them, even as many as Israel had not known all the wars of Canaan, meaning these are the ones they didn't drive out. Only that the generations of the children of Israel might know, to teach them war at least such as before knew nothing thereof. Meaning, the way I read this scripture is like when we say, lest they forget. And when on Memorial Day, we try to remember those that have sacrificed before us, so we don't forget, that we don't have to go through the same things. That's what I'm getting from this, is that they should be teaching their children about what happened so they don't have to do the same thing. And that's what I'm getting at. And now they're talking about those that are left. The 5 lords of the Philistines, and all the Canaanites, and the Sidonites, and the Hivites, and that dwelt in Mount Lebanon, from the Mount Baal Hermon unto the entering in of Hamath. And they were to prove Israel by them, to know whether they would hearken unto the commandments of the Lord, which he commanded their fathers by the hand of Moses. So, are they going to be faithful, or are they going to make up excuses? And the children of Israel dwelt among the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Amorites, the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites. And if you look on the right-hand side, it's going to talk a little bit about the gods. Again, it's the same thing that we read yesterday. What kind of gods are there? There's Baal, there's the other gods, and remember here, we'll talk about groves as well. But they're named in this, so I'm not going to go through the same thing. And they took their daughters to be their wives, and gave their daughters to be their sons, and served other gods. Exactly what they're not supposed to do. Moses told them that. Joshua told them that. They were reminded many times about this, and yet they're going to do it anyway. And the children of Israel did evil in the sight of the Lord, and forgot the Lord their God, and served Balaam. Remember, that's plural for Baal. And the groves. Remember, we're not talking about groves of trees. If we go there in the footnotes, Ashtaroth, the fertility cult goddesses. So when we talk about cutting down the groves, that's what they're talking about. Therefore the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel, and he sold them into the hand of Cushan Rishathaim. I did work on that, but I still can't get it very good. Cushan Rishathaim, the king of Mesopotamia. And the children of Israel served Cushan Rishathaim 8 years. And when the children, if you want to think where 8 years is, think we've only been 6 years since we had shutdowns for COVID. And so that's the distance, you might say. We've got 6 years, 8 years. Would have been earlier, 2018. Think where you were then. And when the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, the Lord raised up a deliverer to the children of Israel, who delivered them, even Now look who's the first one here. Othniel, the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother. So Caleb was really blessed of the Lord because of his faithfulness. And now his nephew is going to be the first judge. And we don't learn much about him here, but the Spirit of the Lord was with him. And the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and he judged Israel and went out to war. And the Lord delivered Cushan-Rishathaim, king of Mesopotamia, into his hand, and his hand prevailed against Cushan-Rishathaim. And the land had rested 40 years, and Onathil, the son of Kenaz, died. And the children of Israel did evil against the sight of again in sight of the Lord. See how quick it was. But then again, we're not seeing exactly everything. They had 40 years of righteousness. They rested for 40 years. Just remember, 40 years in the wilderness seemed like a long time for the children of Israel. Now they had 40 years of rest, as it was, with Othniel as the judge. And it doesn't... I was trying to figure out how to think of it in terms what it was like in the government of Israel at the time. Each tribe was different. In each tribe, they weren't united. It wasn't like a country as such. They weren't united unless there was a war or something like that, and then they were united. I think, thought of a few examples. You've got the United States, which means that all of the 50 states are sovereign unto themselves, except that there is a head. There's still the federal government. So that's not quite the same as this. Then we got the United Kingdom, which seems even better example, where there is Ireland, Scotland, Wales, and England, and several other outlying provinces that they've had over the years in the United Kingdom. But they still had someone, a king, for them. And the closest thing I found to what it was probably like is the United Nations, or not the European nations, European Union. There's the European Union consists of these countries that run themselves. They have their own way of doing things, but they get together and try to work out things together. And there is a president of the European Union. A lot of people might not even know that or even know who it is. I can't think of who they are right now. And you can opt in or opt out of this. And right now the United Kingdom is opted out. I'm thinking that is more what this is like, just loosely held together, still doing anything they want on their own, but sometimes coming together for a certain cause. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in. But they had rest under Onathniel, the son of Kenaz. But when he died, the children of Israel did evil again in the sight of the Lord. So this is another generation of away from those that came in with Joshua. And the Lord strengthened Eglon, the king of Moab, against Israel, because they had done evil in the sight of the Lord. And he And he gathered unto him the children of Ammon and Amalek, and went and smote Israel, and possessed the city of the palm trees. I don't know where that city is, but as palm trees. So the children of Israel served Eglon, Eglon, just not Elon Musk, just let you know that. The king of Moab, 18 years. So now they're had 40 years apiece. Now they've got 18 years. In captivity. When the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, notice they turned to the Lord, they cry unto him. The Lord raised up a deliverer. So he waits until they turn to him to do this. Ehud, son of Gera, a Benjamite, a man left-handed, and by him the children of Israel sent a present unto Eglon, the son of Moab. But Ehud, I can't even say his name right, Ehud made him a dagger which had 2 edges of a cubit length, and he did gird it under his raiment upon his right thigh. Why? Because you'd reach over and you'd pull it out. Think about how you pull out a sword or anything. You reach across the body to pull it out. That's the easiest way. So when they check him, they check the right side usually, because only about 10% of the people are left-handed, and they don't usually make things for the left-hand side anyway. I mean left hand to use. I know I'm left-handed, so I know that. And he brought the present unto Eglon, king of Moab, and Eglon was a very fat man. And when that's important to the story, and when he had made an end of to offer the present, he sent away the people that bear the present. But he himself turned again from the quarries that were by Gilgal, and said, I have a secret errand unto thee, O king. Now, it shows the character of the king. The king can't refuse. Oh, a secret errand. Ooh, this sounds fun. He said, keep silence. And all that stood by him went out from him. So it's going to be a secret just between him, and he's likes to keep his secrets, it sounds like. And Ehud came unto him, and he was sitting in a summer parlor which he had for himself alone. And Ehud said, I have a message from God unto thee. And he rose out of his seat. And Ehud put forth his left hand and took the dagger from his right thigh. By the way, we're not talking a small dagger. We're talking a short sword, basically, if it was 1 cubit, from his right thigh, and thrust it into his belly. This gets a bit graphic here, I think. And the haft also went in, right down, so basically his hand went into his belly. This is a big guy. In after the blade, and the fat closed about the blade, so that he could not draw the dagger out of his belly. And the dirt came out, and that means he pooped himself, basically. And when Ehud went forth through the porch, he shut the doors of the parlor where they were upon him and locked them. And when he was gone out, his servants came, and when they saw that, behold, the doors of the parlors were locked. They said, "Oh, surely he covereth his feet in his summer chamber," meaning he's doing something that will leave him be. And they tarried till they were ashamed, and behold, they opened not the doors of the parlor. Therefore they took a key and opened them, and behold, the Lord was fallen down dead on the earth. And he had escaped while they tarried, and passed beyond the quarries, and escaped to Shirath. And it came to pass that when he was come, he blew a trumpet in the mountain of Ephraim, and the children of Israel went down with him from the mount, and he before them. And he said unto them, Follow after me, for the Lord hath delivered your enemies, the Moabites, into your hands. And they went down after him, and took the fords of Jordan toward Moab, and suffered not a man to pass over. So you can see in a big way that this is how the Lord is going to do things. And notice he says, the Lord hath delivered your enemies into your hands. He didn't take credit for the things that had happened. Oh, I just did it. Guess what? I killed the king, and I'm delivering you out. He says, no, the Lord has done it. He understands where the blessings come from. And they slew Moab at that time, about 10,000 men, all lusty, meaning they're all fat, basically, and all men of valor, and there escaped not a man. And Moab was subdued that day under the hand of Israel, and the land had had rest fourscore years. So about, I think that's 80 years. Yeah, 80 years. So twice as long as Israel was in the wilderness. And when it says rest, I take it as the most part of the people were righteous. And they don't turn on a dime. Things happen over those years, but for 80 years, there's quite a lot of good things happening. And after him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, which slew the Philistines 600 men with an ox goad, and he also delivered Israel. So it doesn't say Israel fell away as much as the Philistines were there, and Shamgar was there to protect them. So it's important that we put those in perspective, that it's not one thing after another, but 80 years is a long time. 80 years, you're talking a couple of generations have passed. And these people have tried to live the way that they should live, and for the most part. Remember, think of our own culture and how things relate to it, that not everybody's going to do the same thing, and not every family is going to be the same, but overall, the children of Israel were trying to do what the Lord wanted them to do for that long of a period, and that's good. We have to see that, as well as learn from when they don't follow. I hope you learned some things, and we'll talk about Deborah tomorrow.